Pakistan, ja, ja, Pakistan, dil, dil, Pakistan, ja, ja, Pakistan. Ninth edition of Women's World T20. 10 teams, 23 matches, 17 days, and one coveted trophy. So it's quite right that we do a one grand preview of ICC Women's World T20 2024. You are listening to Ahmad, your host for the most, and it's podcast number 40 of All Understand. So let me introduce you the cast for this particular preview. I will go first to Islamabad, as ever, the great voice of women's cricketer, the writer, the podcaster, uh, bit off the screen these days, but she's pretty much busy off it. So let me go straight to Skin and ask Sakina. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing?
Thank you, Ahmad, for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I am doing fine and absolutely buzzing for this World Cup. And second reason for my buzzing is I am welcoming Prajin after a while. I think it was Women's Premier League preview, and we three were together. And after that, I don't think Prajin has joined us back. And it is kind of synonymous with Indian women's team that they haven't been inactive, in action, should I say, after the Women's World Cup. But of course, we're gonna discuss it. Let me formally welcome Prajin, and of course, shout out to his platform, Women's Cricket. So, Prajin, thank you so much for joining. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ahmad. Good to be back.
Uh, yeah, nice to have you back. Nice to have you back. Okay, Sakina, let's get cracking. I will throw the mic towards you. So, of course, ninth edition, 10 teams, two groups. And of course, firstly, it was planned to be in Bangladesh, but then due to unforeseen circumstances, it was shifted towards UAE. Prior to the World Cup, it was announced that roundabout equal prize money would be allotted to the champions and the runner-up and the stuff like that as of men's World T20. My question is just an opening statement. How are you feeling about the World Cup going into it? It might be your fourth or fifth World Cup, like T20 World Cup, in your own watch time. How are you feeling personally? How much quality competitions, quality matches we're gonna expect, and how do you see the women's cricket right now?
Thank you, Ahmed. First of all, I feel a bit bad for Bangladesh, definitely, because World Cup at your home is always special. Uh, as the as someone from Pakistan, we are not getting World Cups at our home, so we feel like जो हमें कमी महसूस होती रहती है उस चीज़ की बार-बार. So I feel like obviously Bangladesh might be feeling something like that, but obviously it's a part of journey के अब जो भी वहाँ सिचुएशन बनी है, आई होप कि वहाँ थिंग्स जो चीज़ें हैं वो जल्दी से सेटल डाउन हो जाएँ. यूएई के साथ ऑब्वियसली यूएई में पहले भी बहुत खेला है, सो आई डोंट फील लाइक इट्स लाइक कि बहुत ज़्यादा कोई उस चीज़ का दूसरा होगा, क्योंकि आई थिंक ऑल द कंट्रीज that are going to play are familiar with the UAE grounds. I'm not sure about Scotland, so and that's the team that I'm more excited about. How the Scotland is going to fare in their group, whether they will be able to take a win home or not. Other than that, I feel like there are a lot of teams that we have seen much stronger in past, and they are not in that kind of zone anymore. So I feel like we might get few upsets, and that's what I'm excited about.
Yes, well put. I do have some thoughts on Scotland, but we will come toward them, of course. Prajin, let's switch our attentions to Group A. Let's get Australia right out of the way. Of course, we have to throw them the flowers. Hat trick of being defending champions, I would say, and of course, six times champions. Uh, but there have been few shaky things of late since 2023. Not that much in terms of series results, but they have lost to they've lost T20 series versus England. They've lost matches against West Indies and South Africa. That too at home, and they have been bowled out twice as well since 2023. So that is like kind of shaky part, but of course their squad is pretty much balanced. Viewers would be able to see the squad in when we put out that video. So mm I do wanna take your input about their pace duo. Uh, we all know their key players like Alice Bray and stuff like that, but I am really excited to see if they opt to go with Darcy Brown and Tyler Lemick as their pace duo, because mm, mm, they are kind of new to these conditions. So they might opt for like kind of different strategies, but of course they're inherently good with paces. So how do you see their best possible combination going into the World T20? And do you still think my apprehensions about them a bit shaky, are a bit too harsh, or I am being fair about them?
Certainly, Australia have been facing that competitiveness from other teams. So they have been put under the pump by West Indies, and even they were bowled out by New Zealand. So, as you were talking, things won't be easy for Australia this time compared to other years, because we know that this group also contains a very good Sri Lankan side that has been winning series in New Zealand and England, and also winning the Asia Cup. So and also India and even New Zealand, even though they have been defeated by Australia in the recent series, they have been pretty good. And even the Pakistan side, who is up for a challenge, and I think this time the things won't be easy for them. But anyways, they are Australia, so I see them as a clear favorites to win this tournament. But as you said, they might be going for Talia Vermick and Talia Maglatan as their pace options. And other than that, I don't see any other change from their team of what they were playing in the past 1 year. So they are always a team that goes for uh, winning combinations, and they won't change their compositions much. So uh, other than McLanning, I don't think there's any change for the squad from previous World Cup. So I think they are pretty much balanced side.
Yeah, interesting to hear. Sakina, like kind of rapid fire questions regarding Australia. Please don't go too far about your predictions, but if we stick with the group, they're gonna face, of course, New Zealand, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and India. Realistically, and on their form, how many games do you see winning that to in Asia? That to in UAE, should I say? Sakina, आपका mic mute है.
Yes, I mean, I don't
Yeah, yeah.
feel like it. Other than India, anyone will be able to like threaten them that much. Okay, okay, Australia is going to lose a match. India obviously had a, उसका होगा, but उसके अलावा I don't feel like it will be a pretty huge upset if anyone else managed to beat them, because New Zealand is not in that kind of zone anymore. New Zealand is not
Huh.
going well, so I don't feel like they are going to be get threatened by any team other than India.
Okay, all right. Interesting to hear. Hmm. I too have some reservations over Fab Litchfield being deployed in a middle order role. I do think she must be a top three batter in any team. But anyway, let's see how she scored runs in New Zealand series as well. But I just see her as a top three batter. But anyway, Prajin, let's switch our attentions to the Indian team, our home team, of course. Uh, I was there is kind of interesting thing. I was just going through a few articles. So they have off late uh, hired a sports psychologist as well, because of late in your tournaments, few finals, few semi-finals, and अभी एशिया कप में भी आप लोग फाइनल में आ रहे. So that was interesting thing to hear. But anyway, I do wanna throw spotlight on Dipti Sharma. I think so we all always throw flowers to the likes of Samriti, the likes of Shafali or Pooja in bowling. But the most improved player in past 12 or 14 months is Dipti Sharma. A spectacular Women's Premier League and even better the 100 tournament. So I do think she is going to be your most pivotal player. Having said it, where do you see her in particular, her batting position? Like, I am not too strict about batting position as per, but like batting phase. What do you think she's the most suited to? And same question regarding number three conundrum, because in Asia Cup we saw a few innings uh, that after Samriti and Shafali has provided a good start to use, your middle order just got a bit stuck. Even in Harmanpreet in final just got a bit stuck. So are you concerned about those particular facets of innings?
Yeah, that would be an interesting topic to discuss because in the pre-departure press conference, captain and coach told that the number three, which they will be going to play in the World Cup, would be a surprise and that will be unleashed only in the World Cup. So I have my concerns regarding that, but that position, I think what I think from the past and everything is that maybe someone like Gastika Bhatte will fill up that role. But I get a strong feeling that we can try Dipti Sharma at number three because she has had, as you said, had a wonderful WPL and even better 100. So and she is the most important improved player in the past. So by doing that, we can play one additional player in the lower middle order. So that is one case. But having said that, uh, she has played in that position in the past also, but she has not performed internationally. Uh, so I have my reservations on that. So maybe I think team is pretty much balanced, and most of the players are playing in this team for past 1.5 years. So there is nothing much change from that time. And as always, Jemima Rodriguez position like number five, that is a big question mark. But she has been doing there well, and we have finally found someone who can bat consistently and score consistently in that position. So I would like to see her batting at number five. And other than that, talking about Dipti Sharma, maybe she can bat at three. Otherwise, she will bat outside the top seven. That would be fine because anyway, she will be in the team and she will be an important part in the bowling department. So yeah, that is those are my thoughts about Dipti.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I was about to throw the idea of Dipti as floater at three or four. So yeah, I do think you echoed those sides as well. Skinner, very lastly on India, there have been few concerns, rightly so, fairly so, that they have been inactive like competitive games. I am saying that since Asia Cup, even Pakistan have played with South Africa, Ireland and England have played, Australia and New Zealand have played. Sri Lanka went to Bangladesh. Oh no, Bangladesh went to Sri Lanka with pretty much their senior team. So India has been the only team that has been only inactive team. So is it up too much of a concern, or they won't be that much rusty? As their coach alluded that their players won't be rusty because they have been involved in skills camps. So do you think it is a bit of concern because these few fine margins between elite teams like India and Australia eventually decide the titles? So how do you feel about it?
I mean, there's been a number of times when this thing has happened in the past. जहाँ पर जो है ना वो बहुत टाइम तक around the World Cups, India की team inactive हो जाती है. So I don't think the team is dealing with that kind of situation for the very first time. So it won't be an issue. I don't feel like they will feel rusty or something like that because they have been in that kind of place in the past as well. But yeah, obviously you do feel like BCCI should have been a bit more active because this is something that have been discussed in the past. It's something that have happened in the past, and this is something that is reoccurring कि वो बार बार होता है. But I don't feel like this is something that big of an issue because they do play a lot of cricket uh, uh, all around the year, not only international but domestic as well. If a player feel like they are not getting enough matches, they always get that opportunity in their कि domestic के जो tournaments हो रहे होते हैं उनमें से किसी में participate कर लें. तो आई डोंट फील लाइक इट दैट काइंड ऑफ एन इशू कि वो रस्टनेस वाला सिचुएशन होगी बट ऑब्वियसली यू जितने मैचेस मिलते हैं उतना ही बेहतर रहता है सो या
Yes. Okay. Let's see how it pans out. So Skinner, I will stick with you because I am switching the segment towards Pakistan. Uh, And of course, as we are recording a day earlier, a night earlier, you can say, Scotland had a convincing win over Pakistan. Pakistan utilized eight bowlers, nine different batters. Of course, it pretty much heavily rotated batting order, and sticking with batting order because there has been so much clamor, and of course most famously by Sana Mir that there needs to be a few changes. So Skina, of course T20 matches do come into play, but what would be your ideal batting unit and kind of batting order for Pakistan going into the first game, that is against Sri Lanka, right? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very honestly speaking, I haven't thought a lot about our playing 11 yet. But yeah, the loss against Scotland, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It In warm-ups, this kind of things mostly happen. Obviously it would give it must have given Scotland a lot of confidence on their team, and that's a good thing, but I don't feel like Pakistan has to be worried about that. uh, they have a lot to worry, but that loss is not something that they that they should be worrying about. um,
Good point.
Other than that, I feel like if we are like making a playing batting unit की हम बात कर रहे हैं, so more than the batting unit, I feel like there has to be a clarity of what they're supposed to do when they are out. Like there's been a lot of talks about attacking cricket, like hitting boundaries and about run rates. Abhi bhi I was just reading this interview of Mohammad Wasim, and again the similar sort of thing was being talked about कि फिटनेस का इशू है, और जो पावर हिटिंग के अंदर जो स्ट्रेंथ रिक्वायर्ड है, that's where we are lacking. But those two things are not something that can be fixed overnight. So if they are, these two are the issues that we are facing when it comes to keeping up with the run rate or hitting boundaries, that won't get fixed overnight. So there has to be a strategy in place कि if you are not being able to hit the boundary, at least you should be able to rotate the strike enough कि आपका जो गैप है वो उतना ज़्यादा बिग ना होता जाए रन्स और बॉल्स के लिए, डॉट आप डॉट ज़्यादा ना फेस कर रहे हो. So I feel like that's something. Up, I don't know what kind of strategy they are going to put in players' heads कि आपने इन द ग्राउंड जाके करना क्या है. आई फील लाइक कि अगर हम टॉप की बात करते हैं तो आई गो विद that's a difficult actually question, because there's been a lot of changes in the top four, top five even. But I'll go with कि आप जो है वो टॉप फाइव के अंदर एटलीस्ट मुनीबा, गुल और and obviously I'm going to make sure कि फातिमा and निदा, like they are supposed to be in the top five. तो आपके पास एक यूनिट मेरा ख्याल है बच जाता है, जिसमें आप इधर आई फील लाइक दे आर गोइंग टू एंड अप गोइंग विद अगेन विद सिद्रा. I feel, and but also they tried to they sent Sadaf up the order in the warm up, but she wasn't able to capitalize that opportunity for herself. So let's see. I'm not sure. I'm not very confident on my own points right now because I haven't thought about it a lot. कि अभी जो है वो देखते हुए सिचुएशन को आपको किस तरह की प्लेइंग 11 के साथ जाना चाहिए. But I feel like they need to be very clear with their strategy कि किस प्लेयर को अटैक करना है, किसको ज़्यादा किस चीज़ पे फोकस करना है. इवन चलें अगर आप ये भी कह रहे हो कि सबको अटैक करना है, बट दे हैव टू बी स्ट्रेटजी कि इफ़ यू आर नॉट बीइंग एबल टू हिट द बाउंड्रीज, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू कीप द रन रेट अप. सो या.
Okay, interesting to hear. Prajin, looking from outside, but of course you're a keen follower as much as we are. Um I do have some concerns over our leg spinners. We did a segment in our review show against South Africa, should I say? But anyway, looking from outside, what is your opinion over Sidra Amin? And in particular, if we do look our group, how many games do you see realistically winning us? Can we beat Sri Lanka? Can we beat New Zealand?
Yeah. So, talking about Pakistan squad, I think there is one root cause that is causing any issues to the runs that they are scoring. It's kind of the batters who are able to score boundaries consistently are not able to rotate the strike. So, for example, you see someone like Gul Firoza who is able to hit boundaries and shows that intent. She's not able to rotate the strike properly. And also someone like Muniba who tries every time for shots, and she is also playing some dot ball. So that is one concern, and players are able to rotate the strikes like Sidra. I mean, so she's not able to hit the boundaries consistently. So that is one cause that is causing some issues for the Pakistan team. And I see only one player doing both things properly. That is Fatima Sana recently, and I think she should be coming inside top five, maybe four, I will say. So. Even though there have not been much big scores from Gulfirosa, I think she has been good in bits and patches. Like she has been able to support Muniba well, and they are consistently scoring 60s plus scores in uh, almost in at least 80 runs inside 10 overs. Or if they're staying in the power play, they're making sure the runs reach at least above 50. So as a player, I like the intent that Gulfirosa has been showing. I think that is the message she has been given from the team, that to go out there and hit from the word go without being concerned about your scores or something.
Okay, fine, fair enough. What
Yeah.
I
So
see,
and
yeah, yeah, sure, sure,
yeah.
go
So
ahead.
talking about leg spinners, I think they have not been performing well in the past few matches, but conditions in US, UAE are quite different. And I hope someone like Tuba Hassan can do well there. But main ball of this team is Sadia Iqbal, and I see her ending up as maybe the top wicket taker of the tournament. Maybe I can predict it beforehand because she has been the most improved bowler
Wow.
going worldwide in the past 5 months, 5 6 months or so. So you can see that. And other than that, there is I don't see anyone. There is a real concern about bowling than batting. I would say at this point of view because even Fatima Sana is not able to execute those bowling properly. So maybe I would like to see someone taking charge of the bowling department other than Sadia. And I think batting wise, we are good and there will be able to score 160, 160, 150 any day. But it's just about placing the right order. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are my
you are
thoughts.
very right about it. I am glad you mentioned it because at times we kind of overlook our bowling facilities. The thing with that is we over rely on Sadia Iqbal, and Sadia Iqbal can penetrate like top order of opponent teams, and even in death she can take wickets. But other than that, few bowlers might contain a runs. Even in Diana Beck, South Africa series, she was containing runs. Yesterday she contained few runs, but there are not penetrative bowlers enough in our squad. But what I do see is they will drop Sadaf and they will bring in Umama as well, and that will be our solitary change to the T20 game we played last against South Africa. What I would have done is drop Sidra Amin and give a chance to Sadaf at number three, or like in that particular role with the directions provided by Skinner. Okay, let's keep it rolling. There is an interesting team in our group that is New Zealand. Uh, I think so. They are ranked fourth in ICC T20 team rankings, but of course they don't matter that much. Context is much larger. So they are on 10 match losing streak in T20 ice. Um, Again, the batting conundrum is a bit too much for me. Over reliance on Sophie Devine, over reliance on Susie Bates, and they themselves have been underperforming. Even Pakistan series, we can easily throw a flashback on them. They're too much reliance. As soon as we got Susie Bates or Sophie, or even one of them got out, their middle order, apart from Amelia Kerr, were not that much able to do. But having said it, Amelia Kerr in New Zealand, in Australia series has performed really good. Uh, the wicketkeeper Izzy Gaze has been in good nick. Uh, And one major thing that again is circumvented around their batting is I was going through stats. So in last 12 games, they have crossed on the mark of 150 only once, only once. And I know in Joy, the conditions or the pass score might be around 140, 150, but you know what the problem I am talking about. You have to score big runs. They were playing in sporting conditions like South Australia, and who else they had? I think they played to South Africa as well. So the overall concern from my side is about their batting order, like overall batting approach, you can say. But having said it, Prajin, who are going to be their key players apart from the obvious ones? I want to ask, and what would be their best possible XI?
Yeah, talking about New Zealand, I have their like pretty much concerns on that side because past few months they have been not doing good, and even their main players like Susie Bates, they has been pretty average. But talking about New Zealand, they have been always doing good in the ICC tournament, so that's one place where their players will stand up and perform to their best. So I hope the same. I hope I am giving more chances to Sri Lanka and Pakistan than New Zealand because they have been pretty much off color even against lesser ranked teams. They are pretty much confused on what 11 they should go, where should they play most of the players, and even the players are not performing consistently, and that's one issue. And I think they will mostly go with Georgia Plamer and Susie Bates up top, and then playing Amelia Carr and Sophie Dimon. But I would like to see Sophie Dimon coming in and opening the innings for them because that's where she is the best, and she has been doing pretty well all the year. So I'd like to see that change. But again, I don't think they'll change anything for that from the Australian series that we played last week or so. So I don't give much chances to New Zealand, but still, maybe they can pose some challenges to India, who has always been put under the pump by New Zealand whenever they meet each other. So, other than that, maybe they can pick up 1-2 wins from Sri Lanka and Pakistan, but I don't see them qualifying to that semi final or something. But yeah, I hope they give their best.
Okay, so Skinner, he was a really fantastic performer for them, but of course a different context. So, how many games do you see them winning realistically?
I agree with Prajin here because New Zealand hasn't been able to like. I don't think they themselves are sure what they're supposed to do with their to do about their 11 or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like Sri Lanka and Pakistan are going to have a really good chance, but obviously with the teams like New Zealand, you never like uh, count them out because they're always going to be a day when Divine is going to just like go into her zone and smash everything that she's gonna get to her. But the chances of that might be low, like considering their forms and everything. But I still feel like you can't just count them out, but the teams that they are going to face will have a bit of upper hand psychologically on them, considering their track record के past में उनके साथ even when Pakistan faced them in the past
Yeah.
recently, so we had good matches. Uh, we won against them in their own home ground. So I feel like there's going to be a bit of the psychological advantage to the other teams over them. But still, I won't like completely count them out. But I feel like the other teams will have an advantage.
Yeah, fair enough. At max, they will win two games, in my own humble opinion. Of course, I can be proven wrong. Last team from this group. Okay, I gonna start with Skinner. Of course, we gonna talk about Asian champions Sri Lanka, Chamari in this form, but that would be an understatement and kind of disrespect to their squad because the young guns like Vishmi, like Harshita, have taken their mental, have taken the responsibility in big stages. Kavisha Dilari is performing. New blood in bowling is really good. We saw a few glimpses of their ambidextrous cricketer. So pretty much squad, pretty much strong squad, and the more like you can say, I think they are coming into this World T20 with as much as momentum as England are carrying through this particular phase. So that is going to be another factor. And on given day, like they have it in India, they might beat Australia even. So Sakina, they are kind of favorites from this particular group. Like, of course, India and Australia are traditional favorites, but if we take the momentum into it, I do think they are surely the team to beat. So, what is your take on their squad and their prospects for World T20?
Okay, yeah, Sri Lanka squad is pretty good, um, and obviously they have that confidence on them. Uh, that we were talking about New Zealand, na, कि they lack that confidence or that faith in their own team right now. क्योंकि हम past record में वो देख के आ रहे हैं तो श्रीलंका is kind of opposite to that. They have got the players and they have got the confidence as well. So I feel like I'm going to put them definitely above New Zealand. Uh, Threatening India or Australia is going to be a bit of um, a big deal, but I feel like even Australia and India both have that kind of even we have seen in Australia as well where they were like struggling a bit with mini collapses and etc. In the recent past. I hope I'm talking correctly because I haven't seen a lot of scorecards. But so considering that obviously, but I won't say that they are going to just beat them. But they have a good opportunity. And as you said, not only Chamari, but other players from their team have stepped up in recent times a big and they have been um, a very like I'm going to say they, they've been doing really well recently, so I feel like the confidence is on their side. And with the players like Harshita and Vishmi, as you mentioned yourself, and obviously Dilhari, I feel like they have got that good opportunity. Now it will now we'll see on the match day how they are going to capitalize on that. And but I feel like obviously it won't be a 50-50 with India and Australia, but th- there will be chances of it going into that 70-30 or 60-40 kind of zone.
Fair enough. I do think, kind of in interesting way, the tournament has been shifted to Joy, of course, because of obviously for obvious reasons. It gonna suit them more, in my own humble opinion, because Bangladesh tracks are much more turner. I am talking about Sri Lanka batting line in that facet. We know they have got good bowling options, even spinners as well. But likes of Chamari, likes of Harshita, they like a bit of pace to come onto their bat and then they casualize. So for that particular reason, I do think UAE conditions would suit a bit better to their batting lineup. They would have done decent in Bangladesh as well. I'm not ruling it out, but I do think that is a kind of like 5% more edge to them as well. So Prajin, there is a break, but a surprise segment for you is you love doing quizzes. So we are doing a 1 minute trivia. I'm putting a slide. You would be able to see a few clues. I am giving you 60 to 90 seconds. Prajin, let me know. First of all, you can see the slide, right?
Yes, I can see.
Oh, okay, Prajin. Like there is a woman's character. You have to guess her out in 60 to 90 seconds.
So,
Let's see how you
Kolkata,
play.
what is the logo you have used?
So it is,
Night Riders.
yeah, Trinbago Night Riders.
Okay, okay. Uh, Anisa Mohammed.
Are you sure about it, man? I don't see you confident.
Yes,
Okay.
is that
Uh,
right? Or is that someone else?
Okay, is that your final answer?
Let me take my time then.
Okay, okay. Last 30 seconds.
Okay. Uh, yes, I'll go with Anisa.
Okay, let's see. Anyway, Prajin has lost the answer. That is Anisa Mohammed. Let's see if he has guessed her right or not. Slide number two will give all of you the answers. So here we go. Moment of clap for Prajin. Prajin has guessed her right. So Prajin, how did you find it out? I tried to puzzle you out like in first 15 to 20 seconds you named it out. But anyway, which was the most easy clue to pick you out?
I first of all I did not saw that Kolkata Trail Bagger
Yeah,
Night Riders job. After doing that, gas was pretty much easy.
okay, fine, fair enough. All right, so yeah, uh, I think it was necessary to.